welcome back. We are getting live here. Fantastic. Let's get everybody back into our Zoom room. Hi, Kathy. Cynthia. It's good to see you. I hope you had a great time with your father, Cynthia. Good,
It was
good.
nice.
Good. Oh, I'm so glad. Hi, Kay. So glad to see you. And Kathy, welcome. Welcome,
Hi.
welcome. Yay. We are getting ready to dive into day four. So we're going to give people just a few more minutes to get here. We have actually, let me pop this in the chat here for those of you that are here. We actually have a new workbook because I realized that the one that I sent out earlier actually didn't have the right information for day four. So we made sure that we updated that because, and this one that I'm going to pop in the chat is gonna, and I'll send it to you, Cynthia, is has the belief ladder because we're going to be talking about that today. So part of using the Soulful Abundance system, let me go ahead and press record. All right, so welcome to day four. We're diving into sales. We are diving into soulful sales, what they are and what they're not, what actions fall into the sales categories and what actions do not. And we're also going to talk about the ladder of beliefs today because I prefer to look at any type of resistance that might come up, not as an objection, but actually a belief, right? So a lot of times, I don't know about you guys, but when I went through my training, every time I talk or hear somebody talk about sales, it's like, oh, this is what you need to do to overcome the time objection. And this is what you need to do to overcome the money objection. And they're looking at it as objections. And I don't really see that as an objection. I see it as some sort of resistance. And I see that people are getting stuck on what we call the ladder of beliefs. I don't see that it's also my job to try to overcome or overpower somebody in order to make a sale. So we're going to dive into those things today. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and pop in the chat for me that is something that is going to support you on how you can make more soulful sales in your business, right? Without feeling like a used car salesman, right? Without feeling like you're trying to drag somebody across the finish line. Like we don't like to do that. Like most of us, want to feel very nurturing and very supportive, but we don't want to have to try to convince or persuade somebody, right? So let me go ahead and share my screen and I will pull up our version. There we go. So this is the new workbook. Let me go ahead and also just do that. This is our workbook for the new one, and I popped it in the chat. But we're going to talk about the magic of heart-centered sales that feel like service and not selling. The magic of, and we're also going to talk about how to invite, not push, the right clients into your premium offers. Because I'm sure all of us have been on one side or the other where we have felt pushed into making a decision, or there has been some sort of aggressive tactic that has been used that actually makes us not want to be in that person's world anymore. And the truth is that not everybody that you're going to have a conversation with is going to be ready to buy. And that's okay. That's totally okay. Not everybody is ready to say yes to themselves, to say yes to doing something about the problem. But if we try to force or push them into making a decision, they're going to feel that. And energetically, that is out of congruence with who we want to be as empowered leaders. And that is the quickest way to actually, hi, Lauren, the quickest way to actually sabotage a sale. The quickest way to sabotage a sale is to actually try to convince or persuade somebody or push somebody into being a yes when they're not ready to say yes. So the magic of heart-centered sales that actually feel like service, not selling, is actually our energy. It's who we are being when we are having a conversation with somebody. And yesterday we talked about, I'm going to go back up to our Venn diagram. Yesterday we talked about attraction, nurturing, and inviting, and how those are the three needle movers that we need to implement on a daily basis that are going to grow our business consistently and predictably over time. And that if we miss any one of these, we are absolutely not going to be able to have a business because if we attract the wrong client into our ecosystem and we nurture them, but we don't actually, or if we attract the wrong client into our ecosystem, then they're not going to be a yes because they're not capable or willing to do anything about the problem, right? And if we nurture and if we attract and nurture, but we don't invite, then we're not actually going to invite people to make any sales with us. And if we just attract and invite, but we don't nurture, there's not a relationship being built where somebody feels safe and trusting to actually want to hear the invitation, right? So today, Soulful Sales is about making the invitation, but I want you to remember that the invitation comes after we have nurtured. It always, always, always comes after we have nurtured. And so that energetically is going to feel completely different because if someone feels nurtured, they feel safe. If someone feels nurtured, they feel trusting. And so immediately you are in the energy of serving and helping somebody make an empowered decision, not actually trying to convince or persuade them that they need to buy. Okay. This is where a lot of people get stuck is they go into a conversation trying to close the deal, trying to get the sale. And what they're doing is they haven't spent enough time nurturing them first and then giving them an invitation to explore what it might look like to have your support. And I really, really like that languaging. And if it works for you too, please use it. Instead of saying, do you want to buy my thing? It's, would you like to explore having support to have this transformation? Would you like to explore having support to get the outcome that you want? All sales is actually helping somebody get what it is that they want. That's what sales really, really is. Because the more we focus on helping somebody else get what they want, the more yeses you're going to get. The easier it's going to feel for you. Oh my gosh, it's going to feel so good for them because regardless of whether they're a yes or a no, they are going to walk away feeling served and supported. And the truth is, in these, days and times and in this market, not everybody is a yes right away, right? And so if you try to overcome their objection, overpower their no and turn it into a yes, you may lose them as a potential client forever, right? Which means they're going to be like, I didn't feel good. Like, I'm not coming back. Like, I am not going to be in that ecosystem anymore, right? Versus if we are in the energy of how can I help this person? How can I serve this person get what it is that they want in the quickest way possible? Do you feel the difference in your own body when I say that? If I am exploring and I'm reaching out to somebody and I'm thinking, how could I help this person get the result that they're looking for, get the transformation that they're looking for? And then qualify whether or not they're actually looking for support, right? So you need to actually qualify whether or not this person is interested in doing anything about the problem before we actually ask them to buy, right? I mean, I know it sounds really simple, but people don't do that, right? They just pop in and say, do you want to buy my thing? Do you want to join this thing? Here's the link. Buy, 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 buy. And the truth is we do, as people, as humans, we do like to buy, but we don't like being sold to, right? There's an energy there that is very, very different. So again, the magic is how can we be in the energy of service? How can I help this person get what it is that they want? And ultimately invite them, not push, not convince, not persuade, invite them to explore having support into your offers. Okay. So that's why I like to call it invitations. I don't like calling it, how do I convert somebody to a buyer? How do I get somebody to buy? How do I get somebody to close the deal? Because that energy automatically assumes that you're in lack too. You don't have what it is that you want. So somehow you have to try to get somebody to do what it is that you want them to do, which is very different than helping somebody get what they want. So the languaging matters because it creates a different feeling and energy in your body, which is directly felt with your potential client, right? Directly. I mean, energy, we feel that, right? They might not know exactly why it feels a little off or a little wonky, but they're going to feel it, right? So if you are only interested in closing the deal versus inviting them to make an empowered choice, right? And when we invite somebody to make an empowered choice, what we're doing is we're putting the power back in their hands to make a decision that feels like the best for them. It means it takes the pressure off your shoulders for having to convince or persuade somebody that they need to be your client. So if this feels like a easier, more natural way to make sales in your business, I want you to just, post S in the chat. If you're on Facebook, give me an S there for soulful or SS for soulful sales, because we are here to make soulful sales. We are not here to make sales at all costs, right? That's not going to be a sustainable or an effective business model. Okay. And here's another reason why. If you remember, we talked about lifetime value of our client on day two, and we were talking about offers. If somebody feels pushed or pressured and they buy from you, they're probably going to wait until that service is over so that they can not have to stay any longer, right? So we don't want that to happen. We want somebody to feel a full body yes, like they are saying yes because this is something that they want. They feel that they trust you, they like you, because ultimately, after they finish working with you, 30% of your clients are going to want to stay and work with you again in another paid offer. But if they feel forced or pushed, they're not going to want to continue, which means the lifetime value of your client is going to diminish, right? It's going to go down because they felt pushed from the very get-go. Okay. So, before we go into the ladder of beliefs, I want to bring on my client, Lauren. Lauren, I'm so glad to have you here. Lauren joined us, oh my gosh, was it May? June?
I found Chris in May at this event, and I was like, thank goodness, because I was driving myself crazy trying to figure out a lot of stuff. And I literally sat in this session and I was like, oh my God, it doesn't have to be so complicated.
Yeah.
Thank goodness someone's explaining it to me in like English.
You're right. I know. Right. And in English in a way that I want, right? In a way that I'm like, yes, oh my gosh, I want to actually help people in this way. I want to serve people in this way, and I want to build my business in this way.
Exactly.
So yeah, and I'm so glad that we get to do this fun work together. Lauren, I just want to ask, because you are, new, right? We started and then we kind of stopped because she got married and she bought a new house and she did all of the things. But, how do you feel like this has made a difference from before you were, working and trying to build and grow your business to now? Like, I just want people to hear your words on how has this made a difference for you in your business?
So I would say it's like, I would say two huge things at a macro level. One, mindset and just like showing me how much I get in my own way. I'll double down on that in a second. So, like, one, it's the mindset piece. And then two is actually learning real marketing strategies that align with the way I want to run a business. Like, I thought sales was a dirty word. And like, exactly like you're teaching right here, Chris. It's like, no, sales is literally like if you're not telling somebody, if you're not letting people know what you have to offer, they can't know, and you could be keeping something great from them, right? Like
Yeah,
you, the best kept secret. So
yeah.
I would say it's like those two at a very macro level. Um, Doubling in on the mindset piece is really just recognizing how many limiting beliefs I have that stand in my way of being able to actually do the work. So, for example, I might be like totally overthinking something and I could, as I am often doing, and just like having Chris interject or like point out to me like, hey, let's go back to basics. Is super, super helpful. And then realizing just like, hey, we're all human. And when we're doing something new or when we're trying to like scale or get to, predictable point in our business, like mindset's one of the biggest foundational pieces. And left to my own devices, I was just sitting in my head stewing, like, why isn't this working? Why isn't this working?
Yeah. 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 80% of our success is definitely the mindset. And it's one of the reasons why we include mindset calls inside of both core and Activate Abundance Academy. As a matter of fact, you'll have a monthly mindset call, plus you'll have a quarterly mindset, all around our money mindset as well as um, our just mindset in general with one of my mindset coaches that I love dearly. And I've been working with her since 2019, Liz Nicholas. Because if we are not implementing, we're not going to get results, right? I can give you the strategy and I do give you the strategy and I am fully transparent and I'll even share, what's working or not working for me too. That's one thing that, I get to be in integrity with how I'm running my business and I only share the things that I know are working. And if something stops working, I'll tell you. And I'll give you examples from different places that I myself might have gotten stuck too. But we want to make sure that you are putting the things in place so that you actually get the results. And one of the biggest sticking points for many new entrepreneurs is the feeling of imposter syndrome, right? I'm just starting. What if nobody wants to work with me? Pricing your offers appropriately, feeling like you need to give away your services instead of actually allowing yourself to be well paid for your services. Some of these things might fit you, some of these things might not fit you. But typically, where I see people getting stuck is in the actual mindset component that is keeping them from implement what it is that they need to implement, right? And so it's like, I'm going to give you all of the ingredients to the cake, right? Or to the smoothie or whatever it is that you want. And I want to make sure that you've got all of the ingredients because the right ingredients matter and the order with which we, put them together matters. Otherwise, we won't actually have a cake work, right? If we're missing eggs or baking soda or flour or whatever, unless we're making a gluten-free cake, right? It's not going to come out the way that we want it. And so I'll give you the ingredients. I will even deliver them to your house for you, but you got to put the cake together, right? You got to put the cake together. You have to bake it, right? Because I can't do your business for you. And so mindset is a big part. And the longer we get stuck in our own brain with beliefs that are no longer serving us, the longer it's actually going to take us to get the results that we want to have. Yeah. So Lauren is an amazing coach, and we are going to share, Lauren, if you will, just pop in the chat here, and we will make sure to pop it back in Facebook, where they can also connect with you, because Lauren actually helps ambitious women also kind of get out of their own way and start living the life that they want to live in a way that feels really, really good for them. So, and we've spent time on messaging, and that's the other piece that I think is important. A lot of times we can second guess ourselves, and when you've got somebody, a sounding board that knows what it is that they're doing and can guide you along the way, that is also going to give you a deeper sense of confidence. It's going to give you a deeper sense of like, okay, now I know what I'm doing. Now I can go action this, right? Versus if we're stuck in our head over and over and over again, I don't know, is this the right thing? Should I do it? Should I not do it? How should I do it? And then we never do it, right? Because it feels so, so uncomfortable. So, Lauren is a life coach, and Lauren, I'm going to let you share a little bit about what it is that you do. So, if any of this resonates with you, like go join Lauren's Facebook group, download her freebie that we'll share with you too, so that you can connect with somebody who is building and growing a business that is also not a business coach, right? A lot of people that I hear, they're like, "Oh, of course you make money, you're a business coach." My clients are not business coaches and they are making money. Vicky, who you heard yesterday, created a $10,000 cash infusion and she is a massage therapist and a somatic coach. That has nothing to do with helping people make money, right? Amber, one of our other clients inside of Activate Abundance Academy, is a spiritual coach and she helps people learn how to read the Akashic records and connect with her angels. Okay, she made $26,000 within the first 6 weeks. Okay. Jessica was a health and life coach. And I shared this in, our earlier email where she went from bankruptcy to six figures in a year and she was a health coach, right? She worked with moms, busy moms. So Lauren, tell us about you. Tell us what you do.
Yes, there's just one thing I want to say, and then I'll jump into that.
Mhm.
That's been like one of the, I mean, it sounds silly, but Chris, I think one of the things that I just appreciate so much is like, I feel like you teach us how to just be human and be ourselves, which is, I like walk away from a lot of calls and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I just need to be me. And we just like get layered under all this conditioning of shoulds, which is a lot of what I do. And I'll that's actually probably a good segue.
Mhm.
But what I really appreciate a lot of times is like, oh, okay, yeah, like just be human, just be authentic, like just be a person. And
Yeah.
that's what I appreciate about the way you've built your business in terms of the flow between, obviously you guys are learning today about invite, but attract, nurture, invite. It's like do it and do it in a way that aligns with you
Hmm.
as a human,
Yeah.
um,
Thank you.
versus second guessing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That makes my heart feel happy to hear.
So, so on that, just being normal and human. Hi everyone. I'm Lauren. I know I've just been speaking. But I am a life coach who helps, as Chris said, ambitious women really design the life they want. And I know that that's broad, but what I found from my experience is I was great at project managing my life, right? Doing all the things, running my life on default, versus necessarily intentionally. And I didn't have that language at the time. I didn't know that. But that's what a broken engagement and multiple unexpected combination of job loss or just job dissatisfaction led me to really going and doing a deep dive in myself and understanding like, how did I get here? And that brought me to big deep dive in my subconscious and understanding, oh, I had real blockers that were actually preventing me from living the life I wanted. And when I was able to uncover those, I was actually able to start designing the life I wanted by reverse engineering
Hmm.
what I wanted and clearing limiting beliefs. And that has led me to the work I do, which is really helping women to uncover those limiting beliefs that may be subconsciously preventing them from everything they've ever wanted.
Hmm.
And typically, I find that comes up during unexpected transitions. And so, really helping women cultivate that self trust, really combining combination of mindset and tactical strategies so that they can really build the lives that they want and take the actions that feel great for them.
Ah, I love that. I love that. Don't we need more of this in the world, right? Like every single one of you has a unique brilliance that we get to bring into the world. And that is really what, I want to help you do is make sure that what you are doing is actually helping change lives. Because if we're not changing lives, what are we doing, right? We are here. We have a purpose, and there is something on our heart, regardless of whether we are, helping somebody break out of mindset pieces or create an amazing business that feels profitable and purposeful, or, feel more confident in their body, or feel like they're finally owning their voice and they're able to, stand up for what it is that they really, really want. So let's dive into beliefs. Since we're talking about mindset, this is a perfect I just love how the Holy Spirit, God orchestrates all of this. It's like, okay, we were talking about mindset, so let's go into beliefs because this is the thing that your clients are going to go through before they make a decision to work with you. It's everything that whenever we are making any decision to purchase, we're going to go through this process. I don't care if it is a mattress or if it is coaching or if it's a car. Like, this is the series of steps that we all go through before we can actually be a yes to making the investment. And what's not on here is the foundation. And the foundation is we have to believe first in ourselves. We have to believe first in ourselves. If we don't believe first in ourselves, nobody, everybody else is going to pick up on that energy, right? If I'm not confident and I'm like, oh, I don't know, then they're not going to feel confident, right? So we have to start first with being the empowered leader, feeling confident in what it is that we're here to do. And look, that doesn't mean that we have to have everything figured out, right? It doesn't mean that you have to be perfect. What it means is that you have to believe that you are here for a reason and you are here to help people. And you get to feel confident in that purpose and feel confident in yourself. Okay. So once we're that is the foundation of the energy, right? And we are also in the energy again of service. How can I help somebody get what it is that they want? Right. So we need to uncover what is it that they do want? What is it that they want? What is the ultimate result that they want? And the first rung of this ladder of beliefs, in order for them to be a yes, is that they have to believe that the result that they want is possible in the world somewhere. In the world somewhere. So let's just say that they want to believe that they can stop project managing their life, like what Lauren is helping them with, and they want to feel happier, more confident, more in control, a sense of freedom, and really like living the life that they desire. They have to believe that somebody else in the world is actually making that happen. They don't believe yet for them, but they have to believe that it's actually possible, right? Because if they don't believe that the outcome that they want is possible, they can't be a yes. They can't be a yes because they don't believe that it's possible. Why would they invest in anything that they don't actually believe is possible, right? The second step is they have to believe that it's possible for them. So once they believe that, okay, yeah, I believe that it's possible for other people to get this result, then they have to say, oh, okay, I have to believe that it's actually possible for me to get this result too, right? So in the course of your nurturing, you are going to help build these beliefs that yes, what it is that you want is possible, and it's also possible for you too, right? So as I'm taking you through the ladder of beliefs, if we were to use, a six-figure business or a purposeful or a profitable business, right? There's a reason why you're here. Ultimately, you want to build a prosperous and a purposeful business. You wouldn't be here if you didn't, right? So I already know that on that first rung, you believe that it's possible somewhere in the world, right? You wouldn't be here if you didn't, right? You want to learn how, which means that you know that it's possible, right? The next step that all of us would go through is, okay, but do I believe that it's possible for me? Do I believe that it's possible for me? A lot of us feel like we're just unicorns, right? Like, sure, it's easy for you because you're a business coach. So of course you can, right? Or it's easy for you because, you have all of these XYZ things, but it's not possible for me, right? That's why I want to teach you that if you can see that is absolutely possible for you, then the next ladder that your ideal clients are going to go up is they believe it's possible for them now, right? They don't have to wait until all of the stars align. They don't have to wait until the kids go away to school. They don't have to wait until more time opens up, which is really just a big excuse of, I'm afraid to actually take action. Okay. So when we believe that it's possible for them now, then they can move to the next rung. And that is also all of this happens in the nurturing. All of this happens in the nurturing. None of this happens on a sales call, by the way. Okay. All of this happens prior to actually hopping on a call with you. Okay. So, number 4 is I believe this is possible for me now, and I desire your support, right? They're not going to hop on a conversation with you if they don't believe it's possible for them and if they're not interested in working with you, right? If they're not interested in working with you, why would they book a call? They wouldn't, right? So again, that has to happen. These beliefs are built within the context of supporting somebody, not in trying to make a sale. Is this landing? Does this make sense? That the way that we support somebody, give people value, connect with them, and serve them first is actually helping them move up the ladder of beliefs until they get to step 5, which is okay, I am a heart yes. I'm a yes. I want to work with you, and I'm willing to do what it takes to be in to help, enroll anybody else that I need to be enrolled in to help me make my decision. Right. And maybe that is, I'm a yes, I'm a heart yes, I want this. And so I need to have a conversation with my spouse, or I need to have a conversation with, somebody else so that I can actually make the investment in having the transformation, right? But again, they have to go through these 4 steps first, right? And ultimately, they have to be willing to explore options for them to actually make the investment. If they're not willing to explore options to make the investment, then they also can't be a yes. So whenever I am having conversations with people, one of the best ways that we can make decisions around whether we are going to make a decision, whether we want to make this investment or not, is even for ourselves. Do I believe that it's possible in the world? Do I believe that having this result is possible for me? Do I believe that it's possible for me now? Do I believe it's possible for me now? And I like that coach and I want their support. All of that leads to a heart yes, right? So instead of saying, do I have the money or do I have the time? First, we just need to make a decision. Am I a yes for this program, this offer, this coach, this whatever, right? We just want to make it really, really clean. Am I a yes for working with this person? Am I a yes for, yep, I believe it's possible. I like them. And then once we are a heart yes, we get to be a yes for, am I willing to explore what it could look like for me to make the investment? Okay. So if we're a heart yes, then we can move forward and say, okay, else do I need to talk to? What else do I need to do to make the investment? If we're a no, then we don't go any further. We're good. Like we're a no. Like, nope, not doing it. Right. So, but most people get stuck in the ladder of belief by either not believing it's possible for them now, but and it is because they are making up a story around they need to have these other things in place first, right? And we talked about having the results. We talked about being able on day one that we have to move from being curious to committed, right? We can't just say, okay, I'm gonna wait until I have all of it figured out before I actually commit to my dream. We have to actually commit to our dream first. We have to commit to building a business. We have to commit to that piece first in order for the how to open up, right? And the other, thing that I like to share here, especially when it comes down to, the money conversation, which ultimately, the three biggest objections, which again, I don't think that they're objections. I think they're false beliefs. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. And I need to think about it, or I need permission from my spouse in order to say yes. Right. Those are simply somebody getting stuck on this ladder of beliefs. Because the truth is, we all have the same amount of time. You guys have heard that saying all the time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, right? Time, we are not a victim to time. Time doesn't run away with us. Time doesn't pick us up and run away. Time doesn't get away with us, right? That doesn't happen. We choose how to use our time, and time and money actually bend to our priorities. I want to say that again because that's a writer downer. Time and money will bend to your priorities, right? How do I know that? Because we can see it happening all the time, right? If I say I don't have time, is that really true? Or did I just decide to use my time in a different way? If I say I don't have the money, is that true that I actually don't have the money at all? Or is it that I just don't want to use my money for this? The reason why I'm talking about this is because it takes your power back. We don't ever want to give our power to time. We don't ever want to give our power to money because those things actually don't have power over us. We get to make the decision around how we use our time and how we use our money, right? So we just get to say, yes, I want to use my time in this way. Therefore, I will make it happen. Or, yes, I believe that this is important. I believe that this support can help me get to where it is that I want to go. So I am going to make it a priority to find the money. And that's what I had to do when I shared with you my story when I had $25, in my bank account. And I was like, all right, I need to hire this coach. And she said, we can work together, for $100. I didn't have $10,000 in my bank account. It was not there. I could have easily said, oh, I don't have the money. But I didn't. I said, you know what? This is a priority. I know that I'm a heart yes. And if I'm a heart yes, how am I going to figure it out? What are the things that I need to do because I am a heart yes, because I do like this coach. I do like her method. I do believe it's possible. I don't have all the information. And I really do believe that I want this support. And again, I 10x'd my income, actually more than 10x'd, from going from only being able to give $100 to making six figures in 6 months. Oh my gosh, you can't get a return on investment anywhere in the stock market like that, right? So our brain gives us all of these reasons why we shouldn't to keep us playing small because we're afraid of taking a risk, right? And so one of the things that we do offer you inside Activate Abundance Academy is we try to take the risk out for you. So the couple ways that we do that is number one, within the first 30 days, if you're working with me in Amplify, you get a cash infusion strategy with me. So we're going to work together for the first 30 days to help you create $2,000 to $10,000 in your first 30 days privately. If you join Core, you actually get access to the 30-day cash infusion that we do together as a group, right? But all of this is designed to help you get the return on investment as quickly as possible. I know that if you implement what it is that I teach you, that you will absolutely get $500 back if you join Core, or, $14.97 if you join Amplify. And then we get to create the structure and the pieces and the roadmap to help you do that on a consistent basis over time, right? So that we can get you having a system so that you've got a heart-centered marketing and sales system, so that you know what to do, so that we've got your foundation styled in, we know your ideal client, we know your pricing, we've got your offer suite, we have a signature system. We teach you how to put these things together so that you can do that on repeat even after you finish the program. So that's one way that we help to reduce the risk of our brain saying, oh my gosh, but what if I do this and it doesn't work? So the second thing that we have for you is we have a guarantee that if you show up and if you implement and if you take the action, that if you do not double your investment, you can go through the program again for free. You can go through it again for free. So we want to make sure, and the reason why we don't do the money back guarantee is because you have to put some skin in the game, right? Like you have to take the action. So for me to say, oh, just, join me, and if you don't make your money, we'll give it back. That's not in integrity with me as a coach being supportive of you to take the action to get the results. Because if you don't take the action, you're not going to get the results. So I need to make sure that there is some structure there for you to say, okay, yep, I'm going to show up to the calls. I'm going to implement the strategy. I'm going to have the conversations. I'm going to reach out for support when I need it. I'm going to follow the formula, follow the recipe so that you get the cake that you want, right? So we've removed risk from it in that way. The other way that we have also reduced risk is that we want to make sure that we are teaching you the right things, and we've got your success coaches. So not only do you get me live every single week, the first 3 weeks of the month rather, but you also have your success coaches, if you're an Amplify, that you can reach out to. But we also have guest experts to come in to teach you what it is. And you've got access to those, and you've got access to all of the recordings. Okay. So if you are at all interested in joining me inside of Activate Abundance Academy, now is the time to just book a call with me and to let me help you make an empowered choice about whether or not you feel it's possible for you now. Do you want my support? Are you a heart yes? If you're a heart yes, then I'll invite you into the program. If you're a no, I'm going to help you make an empowered decision about if it's a no for now, that's totally fine too. What I won't do is try to convince or persuade you, because like I said yesterday, if I'm trying to convince you or persuade you or drag you across the finish line, I'm going to have to do that for the whole time, and I'm just not willing to do that. I am just not willing to do that. I cannot jump inside your body and do your business for you. So we do ask that you are committed to show up and to take the action and to implement, because that's the best way you're going to get results. Now, let's talk about what actions actually fall into the sales category. Okay, here's what's not, what doesn't fall into the sales category, rather. Posting on Facebook does not fall into the sales category. That is a marketing strategy. That is a client attraction strategy. Okay, what falls into the sales category actually fall into very specific things. And that is actually making invitations to people to work with you. And you can make an invitation in a one-to-many format, like what I'm doing here. I have made an invitation to you for the past 3 days to join me inside of Activate Abundance Academy. That is making an invitation, right? That's saying, hey, if you want my support to implement what it is that you're learning, if you want my pathway, if you want my guidance, if you want my formula, if you want my recipe, if you want my system, I'm giving it to you inside of this program. That's an invitation. That is where that falls into the sales category. If you are not making invitations to people, you are not actually going to make sales. Okay. So actually making offers to people after they have been supported or nurtured is falls into the sales category. Okay. Just posting on Facebook that you've got an offer is not in the sales category. Just kind of like waiting for somebody to reach out to you is not in the sales category. Okay. So, in order to make daily sales, we have to go back to those three things. What am I doing every single day that falls into the attract category? What am I doing today to nurture? And then what am I doing to identify who is a warm person in my ecosystem? And how do we identify that? Well, they already know you, they already like you, they already trust you. And so reaching out to those people to invite them to explore having your support is what you need to do on a daily basis. And we encourage and we support our clients to make one offer a day, Monday through Friday, one offer, make one invitation to somebody who is already in your ecosystem. And when I say ecosystem, oh my gosh, they're everywhere. They're on your phone, they're in your email, they're in groups that you're a part of. We're going to talk about tomorrow, by the way, we're going to go all into where to find your paying clients tomorrow. But for today, if you want to make sales today, what you want to do is you want to take a look at who is already in my world that I've had an experience with. Who is a past client? Who is somebody who is up for renewal? Who is somebody that I've had a conversation with before, but they were not yet? Who is somebody that I have had an assessment with, or I've met at a networking meeting that has shared an interest or said, you know what, I am really interested in what you've got. That sounds fascinating. Everybody here has got 200 to 300 warm people in their ecosystem, even if you don't have a Facebook group, even if you don't have an email list. The problem is that most people are thinking of cold leads and how do they convert somebody who's cold to be a buyer? And I want to change that for you because cold leads do not become buyers. Cold leads are not buyers. We are not trying to convince or persuade somebody and drag somebody, right? Coming out of the house and grabbing them off the sidewalk and dragging them in, up to the master suite. Okay. So you all, in order to have a healthy sales system, we need to start making offers. But the way that we take a look at who could I make an offer to today is starting from the inside out, which is who have I worked with previously, right? Who have I had a conversation with previously? Who is a practice client? Who is somebody that is a referral, right? Who is already a current client, but maybe they want a little bit of extra support, right? Those are all ways that you can make a sale this moment, today. And you do not have to try to convince or persuade or drag anybody across the finish line for that, but you do have to make an offer. So I want you to think about, where are you getting stuck that is preventing you from making daily sales? Is it that you're thinking about, oh, well, I don't know who to reach out to? If that's the case, oh, I'm just getting stuck again. I'm getting stuck. I'm going to stop my share. If that's the case, then what I want you to do is think about, who is it that you do know in your ecosystem that you've had previous conversations with? Who is it that you could serve? Who is it? And by the way, that's what I do. When I wake up in the morning, I ask myself, who can I serve today? Who can I serve today? Who might need support today? How can I reach out to them and help them to create a win? And sometimes that means that I make them an offer to do a deeper dive, right? To say, you know what, I think what might be helpful is, why don't we, hop on a power hour, right? Or I think what might be helpful is, let's get your foundation styled in. Or I think what might be helpful is saying yes to yourself, but let's take a look at which, component, what are the things that you're missing, and what would be the best solution, the best result, the best program to get the results in the amount of time that you want. Okay. So I would love to know, for those of you that are live here in Zoom with me today, what is resonating for you around making sales? What is resonating for you, and what still feels a little sticky, so that I can help you through the stickiness? What's resonating? You can pop it in the chat if you want, if you don't want to come off mute. Or where are you getting stuck? Is everybody making a sale every single day today? Making an offer at least? If you're not, why? Let's start there. What's in the way? What's in the gap? Why are you not making an offer for people to work with you so that you can help them off of Pain Island and actually get a result that they want and change their life? Kike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Um, what's really resonating is the idea of who can I serve today? Who can I help today?
Hmm.
And, how can I assist them make their life easier, transfer, whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
not everybody's in the same business. I'm an editor. I'm a literary editor.
Hmm.
So I'm, taking what you're saying and kind of and
Yeah.
putting it into my world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's one thing that makes a lot of sense because that's a very different way of thinking. And I do like the idea of serving, not selling, that shift.
Hmm.
That's huge. And it feels very, very good because I've never been someone who thought, I had to sell anybody on
Hmm.
anything.
Yeah.
Of course, and then with the financial realities, that starts to feel like I'm going, oh golly, I want this client because I need this client because I need the money. So it's nice to shift out of that, even though I
Yeah.
understand why I've gone to that place, but it's never been my natural focus. The thing
Yeah.
that I'm stuck on is what you're going to talk about tomorrow, which will be great, which is, I
Right.
don't is where to get the clients in
Yeah.
simple English. Where
Yeah.
are they?
Yes.
And
Yes.
so but now I've already you said everybody's got like 200 to 300 people, and I'm not someone who, they have to be, and it's also expanding, which I've done before, but I'm thinking about, okay, so how do because I think a lot of what I do is going to be, contact people cold.
Hmm.
That's going to be in my immediate future. I'm not sure that's actually something that one doesn't say in my future, foreseeable. It's just the future. Um, but with a different approach.
Hmm.
Like, not this is who I am. This is what I can do to help you, help if
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
universities, help your grad students, etc. So yeah.
Great.
So
Yes. Yes.
it's what's got me thinking, even
Yeah.
though I'm kind of stuck.
So let me also just bring a little bit of clarity of like how you could make a sale today, right? If it's like, all right, if I need to make a sale today or I want to make a sale today, where are my people, right? And your people are already in your ecosystem. They are past clients, they are referrals from clients, they are people that you've had conversations with in the past that were not that were just a not yet, right? They are current clients that might need another project. They are current clients that might want to have, a VIP day with you or a power hour with you or whatever. Like there are people in your ecosystem right now that have already been nurtured by you. So where we find clients, where we find new cold leads, we're going to talk about tomorrow. But
Mhm.
it's still going to take time for those people, right? What we're doing today is actually going to create what it is that we get in the next 90 days. So I want everybody to think about what were you doing in June? Because that's what you're getting today. Were you making offers in June? Were you, connecting and nurturing people? Were you having conversations with people? Because if you weren't doing that back in June, you're not going to have the results that you want today, right? And to create a cash infusion, which means how do I bring some income, some revenue into my business today? We're not looking at how do I go out and get in front of a cold audience. We are
Mhm.
looking at who is in my sales system, my ecosystem right now that already knows me, likes me, trusts me, that I can reach out to and say, hey, are you still looking for support around this thing? Right? I know last time wasn't a good time. And I will tell you, there have been so many people that I have actually circled back around to. Stephanie, our tech coach, is actually one of them, where when I first reached out to her, she was like, oh, I really want to work with you. And I'm working with another coach right now. And so now is not the right time. I'm like, no problem. Like, when are you finished? And I'll circle back around. She said, probably in the fall. I'm like, great. I circled back around in the fall. And she's like, yep, I'm ready to go. And she has stayed with me for years, years, and eventually became our tech coach inside of the program. And it is because I followed up with her. right? I didn't say, oh, she was a no. So, like, we have to still, like, those are people that she had already been to an event with me. She already knew that she liked me. She trusted me. So, I have to take a look. Do you have a list of people that you would love to work with that you've had an experience with? Can you, also use that transfer of trust that happens with people who are collaborators with you too? That's another way, right? Is there a client that can refer you to another client?
Hmm.
Right? Is there somebody that you can reach out to and say, hey, Chris said that you might be interested in having some editing support. I just wanted to reach out and find out, like, is this something that you're looking for? Great, you can do that today, right? She might not be a yes, but that's okay. The point is that we're making an invitation,
Right.
right? And the more invitations and offers we make, the more sales you make, right? So it's not necessarily that there's no clients, it's that you're just looking for them in the wrong place if you want to bring sales in right now.
Got it.
Okay? I will teach you tomorrow where to find the cold ones. Absolutely. But if you want to make a sale today and create a cash infusion, we want to take a look at what we call as our healthy sales system, which is who is a current client, who is a past client, anybody who's purchased anything from you at any time is a past client that you can reach out and say, hi, how are you? Right? Anybody who has had a conversation with you, either an assessment, if you've done an assessment, or a consult call. Those are all people that you've connected and you've had a relationship. So, homework, I'm going to give you guys some homework if you choose to do it, totally an invitation, is to make a love list of those people. Make a
Yeah.
love list of those people.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I think that you can also go through your emails, go through your phone, those are where our contacts live, and see how many people you can put on your love list. See how many people you can put on your love list,
No.
right? Yeah. Yeah. And again, that is how we can create income in our business right now, right? We go from the warm audience, right? We're not going to try to convert a cold person who doesn't have an experience. We want to look at who is in our ecosystem that's warm. And those are the people that are warm. Those are the people that are warm. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Yeah. And when we do that, it's actually a lot easier because they do know us, they do like us, they do trust us, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, cool. And it can also be people that you have served or nurtured, right? So almost all of you have gotten a personal invitation from me because you're here. You're going through my event where I'm serving and I'm giving value. And so if I don't ask you if you want more support to build and grow your business, I'm abandoning you on Pain Island, right? But you're here in my
Right.
ecosystem and you have been to multiple events or you're in my Facebook group, right? So you're in my nurture bucket, right? I'm not trying to like convince you that you need to work with me. I'm giving you an invitation to explore if you want my support or not. Do you want support building and growing your business? Do you want to use my system to build and grow your business? It's just an invitation. You can certainly say no, and I can be
Hmm.
like, great, not a problem. If you're not ready, right? But my focus and my foundation is I want your no to be an empowered no. And what I mean by that is we can have disempowered no's. We can say no because we don't have enough time. We can say no because, oh, I don't have the money. We can say no because of all of these other outside circumstances, and we give the power to the outside circumstance. That's not an empowered no. That's a disempowered no. An empowered no is this doesn't resonate with me. I don't want to implement this. An empowered no is nope, doesn't feel good to me and it doesn't feel aligned for me and I want to do it in a different way. An empowered no is I don't choose to use my time this way. An
Hmm.
empowered no is I don't choose to use my money in this way. So take the power back. And again, I tell this with everybody, never use time or money or permission or any outside circumstance as an excuse because you are giving away your power. And that is a disempowered answer. My job is to help you make an empowered choice. And it always starts from that clean energy of, am I a yes for the support? Am I a yes for wanting to learn the system? Am I a yes For this piece, if you're a yes, then honestly, brainstorming how to come up with the money is where we get to create a cash infusion for you because there is money waiting for you right now. There is money waiting for you today. And how do I know that? I had to do it myself, and I know it's available for you too, right? So that when I said yes to that coach way back when, I said, what can I do to create it? What can I do to create the next $1,000? I got 5 people together. Some of them were my friends, yes. And I said, hey, I'm going to do this thing. It's a 6 week program. Would you like the details? Would you like to join me? I asked probably about 10 or 15 people. 5 of them said yes.
Good
That's
return.
$1,000. That's $1,000 in a week. From going from I don't have the money and I can only have $100 here to creating, stepping into my power and saying, I'm going to figure out how I can do it. How could I create the money? If I want to create it, how can I do it? Now we're in possibility. Now we're in opportunity. Now we're out of scarcity of I can't have because I don't have the time or I don't have the money. And now we're in abundance of, well, what could this look like? What might be possible? How could I make this happen? Right? Now you're empowered. Right now, you are in your power and you are figuring out a way to make it happen versus being disempowered and giving your power away to all of the other circumstances are out there. Right.
Mhm.
So I want you to be empowered. And again, yes or no is fine. It doesn't matter. Like, I want you to just be an empowered yes or an empowered no. Either way is perfectly fine with me. And that's what I teach my clients to do too, right?
Yeah.
Because then our energy is clean and our energy is supportive. And no matter what, whatever conversation that we have, everybody wins all the time. Our clients don't, you don't lose, your client doesn't lose, everybody wins. Everybody walks away feeling supported, everyone walks away feeling connected. And if it's a no right now, it might be a yes next month. We don't know, right? Cool. So I hope this is resonating with you. I hope this is giving you some ahas. Your homework, whether Facebook or here, make your love list. Make your love list. Let's see. Let's just see. So for those of you that are like, yeah, I don't have anybody to reach out to. Yes, you do. Go through your email, go through your phone, look at your past clients, look at your current clients, look at anybody you've had conversations with before. Those are people who already have an experience with you. And I'm so curious to see. I want you to post in the Facebook group how many people were you able to come up on your love list. I'm not going to give you a specific number. I'm just curious to see how many people you come up with. All right, my friends, join me inside of Activate Abundance Academy. Core is only $500 a month. It is absolutely giving you wraparound support. It's giving you the entire system. If you want my support, if you want the system, if you want a way that you can build and grow your business in the quickest way possible, without having to feel salesy or slimy or spend all of this crazy money on ads, which don't work anyways right now, unless you already have a marketing and sales system that's working. Don't wait, right? Like when we wait to make a decision, that's also making a decision. When we say, oh, I'm not going to make a decision right now, that's also making a decision. And that actually is something that is causing you to leave money on the table. Okay. Because the truth is, you can bring some cash into your business. You can end this year on such a high note. There are lots and lots of people, businesses, coaches that create their entire year in quarter 4. That's October, November, and December. Okay. People are investing. People are absolutely investing in their health and in their wellness, but they're investing with the people that reach out to them and they're investing with the people that they feel trusted, that they trust. Okay. All right. I will see you guys back here tomorrow. Awesome. And again, book a call with me if you have any questions. I'm happy to help you make just an empowered yes or an empowered no. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here, Lauren. Bye, Jennifer. Bye,
Thank-
Cynthia.
Bye.